This week I read an article called NFL Anthem Rule Would Stand on Firm Legal Ground. It was written by Daniel Kaplan, and it discusses the fact that many owners in the NFL are now considering requiring players to stand for the national anthem, which of course has been a hot button issue with a lot of players taking a knee, and even some owners taking one with their players. The players themselves love to defend their actions of kneeling by talking about their First Amendment rights, which of course entails free speech and freedom of from actions on the football field, as well as in regular life as well. In reality, the First Amendment was not designed for private sector work. It was designed to keep the government in check to make sure they're not over abusing their powers and telling people what they can and can't do. When in reality, it's not up to their judgment. People argue that the First Amendment should apply because city funds are used to design stadiums, and others add to that by saying it's the government itself who is pressing the issue of players standing or not standing, I should say, and as a result of that, the First Amendment should apply again, freedom of speech, and therefore the players should be allowed to do as they please. California is an exception to this rule, as they've now made it a law that free speech can be to I guess slowed down would be the correct term in the private sector. But I didn't actually choose this to discuss my view on politics or whether or not players should stand or kneel. That's really not what I'm here for. But instead, I chose this because it could apply to this week's topic of ticketing. Uh, According to the law, if owners can prove that players kneeling is causing economic harm to their teams, a case can be made to the league that players should be required to stand as they are employees, and if they're causing harm to the organization, their actions must change. And I firmly believe that as a result of all this kneeling, ticket sales could plummet, as I have seen interviews and I've talked to people I know personally who said they won't buy tickets as long as all this is occurring. So I'm just really interested, I should say, to see where the legislation goes and the direction the NFL takes from here.